I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this, but I have notebooks. Hi, hello, and welcome back to the What is K-pop podcast, where I'm literally talk all things K-pop, like the groups and funny things and discographies and survival shows and concepts and siblings and shit like that. Really, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And then I talk about stuff that happens in my own life because I am the most important person in my life. Much to my parents' hilarity, because I have mentioned it before, and they're like, how are you the most important person in your own life? Aren't people, like other people, important in your life? And then it raises the question of, well, mum is the most important person in dad's life, vice versa. And my if I was to say a particular person who is important in my life, it would obviously be my mum, or it would be my sister, or it'd be the cats, or it'd be my dad, or it would be all of them, and it would be my auntie Vanessa, and her husband, my uncle, and people like that, you know. So I don't have one particular person who's the most important person in my own life. So today I have a headache and I wanted to do K-pop age facts and just K-pop facts in general and just funny things in K-pop that I want to talk about. Yeah. Also, we just had dinner and I had my what do you call it, my support group. I went to the support group charity, they meet up every day except on Thursday, during the week, and they make us lunch. We only have to pay £3 and we can do an activity, and sometimes it's an additional amount of money, but it's fun. Right. I don't know how else to explain it, but it is fun. And you can come in and out whenever you want to. You can have lunch if you want to. You can do the activity if you want to and stuff like that. So I went today. And it was really funny because there was another girl who had just started coming with her carer. And so I was just kind of trying to I don't know, make sure she was comfortable, I guess, by if she wanted to talk, then talking to her, but not overwhelming her. You know what I mean? And so I was doing that, and I happened to be talking to this girl who's a few years younger than me, but I feel we're quite similar. And and another girl who just started a few months ago. She lives at a B&B currently, and one of the people who lives at the B&B with her, in another room, works in a certain industry, right? I'm not going to mention it. And she's complaining about that because obviously it's not that good, and it annoys this girl. And so I had to explain to the younger girl that I was talking with, and this guy who's very slightly younger than me, and this guy that's a few years significantly older than me, what the activity was, and having to explain it in a way that wouldn't sound bad is really quite hard. Because there is an easy way and there's a hard way, and I try to make it as clear as possible so they wouldn't have to ask any more questions. And this girl was getting mixed up the word and a different a type of church, a Christian church. And I was oh my god, am I gonna have to lay it down properly what the difference is right now? Thankfully I didn't, and we were able to kind of get that whole thing sorted out. But yeah, no, it was hilarious. And we kept on talking about really strange things. We were talking about horror films at some point, and I said about the American remake of The Ring. And if you've watched that film, oh my god, why is it so disgusting compared to the Japanese one? The Japanese one is creepy because it's a horror film, and the American one is a horror film it's terrifying and it has body horror elements to it. Like, it's highly aware that it's a horror film. And I feel like the girl who's like the main girl, Rachel, she's so like she's more aware that she's in a horror film than what is her name? We are actually going to start talking about K-pop in a minute, but I have to tell you about this. It was just horrible. Reiko. Yeah, so like Reiko Ko. I can't say words. Like, she kind of is aware that something horrible is happening to her, and scary is happening to her, and horrible and horrifying is happening, but she isn't like making it a massive thing. But I feel like Rachel, she just goes full in and is aware that she is in a horror film, and it kind of annoys me. Like, it was really starting to grate on me. And I was watching, like, I'd watched like it was called The Ring, and I tried to watch The Ring too, and it's like so much weirder, like so much more disgusting, with and like because of the fact that the boy is like a little bit older, like the person who was playing him was a little bit older, and it kept on like flashing back to the like it flashed back occasionally to the first film, and it was just like so awkward. It was like so like hand-fisted. Like, honestly, it was just like trying to continue on a story that frankly didn't need to be finished, like didn't need to be carried on. Oh god, sorry, I'm just reading. I think it's like talking about, oh my gosh, yeah, so it's about the second Ring. So the original film did actually have a sequel to it, but it came out like so much afterwards, and like it doesn't like it doesn't didn't feel as forced, I guess, maybe. But honestly, I don't like it. I don't like it. So the original sequel was Spiral. Oh, I don't like that. So has it got the same people playing it? I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, that was released in 1998, and Ring 2 as like a direct, like a follow-on from. Also, so most of the cast reprised their roles. So what about this one? I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to watch it. I don't like it at all. There's just like something about some horror films that just, I feel like they are often just left, they should just be left how they are. Like, I understand from a monetary point of view why you would like do additional films and stuff, but like, I don't know, like capitalizing off the money, but like sometimes, bro, it's not worth it. It's just not it. Like, I think Barbie might be getting a sequel, but like Margot Robbie isn't attached to it, nor is the director, whose name is escaping me at the moment. So I'm just like, don't stop making remakes, stop making sequels. Just leave it alone. K-pop age facts. 10 minutes in, finally getting onto it. So Taemin is actually younger than Jin Yoongi from BTS, but he debuted like 5 years before BTS did. Which, it does actually make sense that he would be younger because he's the maknae. Like, they're only ever slightly older than Taemin. Like, Taemin was born in the July, Yoongi was born in the March of 1993, and then Jin was born in 92 in December. So it actually isn't too bad. Like, if you think about it, quite a few idols my age debuted in like, there was I think the maknae of Very Very, I think they debuted in like 2019, and he's like 2003, and like Gravity, their maknae is born in 2003 too, they debuted in 2020. Like, it actually makes kind of sense. And now, like, less like it wouldn't even surprise me if like very few people who were born in 2003 are debuting this year, and it's been like 7 years, 6, 7 years. So that actually isn't too far fetched, like a thing to believe. NCT Dreams and Rise's enlistment period will start a year apart despite debuting 7 years apart. Again, it's the same sort of thing because NCT Dream, like their members, debuted so young. Like Jisung, he was 14, I think. Yeah, just turned 14, like a few months, like 14 and a half at the time when he debuted. So yeah, again, that actually does make sense because they debuted so young. It was just kind of getting like Mark being born in 1999. He would have been kind of like the middle of the debuting lineup, and then like potentially someone of Jisung's age, like debuting around about that same time as well, and like potentially with like a bigger group. And then like obviously as time goes on, like that age kind of becomes more and more that like people of that age debut more and more until obviously it kind of phases out. And Rise, their enlistment period obviously will start with, no, I don't know, I don't follow Rise. Okay, ever since the Sunghan stuff, I've just no, like their music is ruined for me. So like yeah, no, like the older members of Rise did debut older, and the younger members of NCT Dream are the same age, but they debuted so much younger. So that period of time does make sense. Big Bang's Daesung and Shiny's Onyu are the same age. And yeah, again, like I'm saying, it's just timing. Like as time goes forward, the age bracket of like older the young line, I guess, of the members gets shunted ever so slightly forward, and the Macne line is just like so far off in the distance. You're basically debuting like 10-year-olds. So like yeah, no, it does make sense. But I mean, Big Bang debuted like 19 years ago, and Shiny debuted like I think like 17. Makes sense. Jungkook is actually 15 months older than Lato. And if you don't know why I'm saying it, Jungkook, he did his song 7 with Lato. So yeah, and Lato was born in December 1999, which actually makes her younger than my sister. I'm sure she would absolutely love that fact. I might tell her tonight actually, because we're not phoning tonight. What am I talking about? We're not phoning tonight. She's phoning her friend. That's a shame. Anyway, Byungyu from TXT is actually part of the Maknae line, despite being only 3 months younger than Subin. But for Hyungjin from Stray Kids, he was born in the March, and then the oldest member of the Maknae line, Han, he was born in the September. Like they literally just had their birthdays. Him and Felix, they just had their birthdays. So no, it does actually. Again, it's not too far fetched. And CSR, I think, or one of the groups. Concept is that all of the members were born in 2005. So obviously there's gonna be like that distinction between the whereas obviously not it's like Hyung and Maknae. Wouldn't it be Uni? Yeah, the Uni line and then the Maknae line. But there's gonna be that distinction, and it's probably not gonna be too much of a like an actual age difference. It's just gonna be it's gonna probably be normal to them. But yeah. In December of 2026, Jin will actually be the same age as Psy was when he released Gangnam Style, which is so strange. Like, Psy has always been this, like, figure in the back of my mind of, like, knowing that he was an age when he did that song, and then it being, like, 13 years later, and he's still doing music, and I'm like, oh wow. Like he wasn't old when he did Gangnam Style. Like he was 4, So now he's like 47, I think. And again, that's not old. It's like, it's so weird how time works sometimes, because Gangnam Style feels like 10,000 million years ago, but it also feels so incredibly recent that I remember when it was like insanely popular. Like, it was massive. For anyone who doesn't know, who was like not around during Gangnam Style, think of it like Dynamite, the Dynamite, yeah, that of 2012. It was everywhere. And I currently have it stuck in my head. Like, it's a type of song that just like wheedles your way into your brain, and it makes you feel a little bit ill inside because you're like, I hate this. Where am I? Yoongi and Jin are closer in age than Hobie and Namjoon, but Yoongi still has to call Jin Hyung for some time in the year. Which I actually actually gonna find it funny. So obviously it's like only 3 months between Jin and Yoongi, and then it's Hoseok was born in the February and Namjoon was born in the September. So yeah, because he just had his birthday, so it's about 6 months. But you didn't know the age. The age thing is like a massive thing in Korea, and like some people who were like let's say you were born on the 20th of December, and then like your friend was born on the 10th of January. Like, you just call each other your friend. Like, you don't use honorifics, but I guess it might be Yoongi or Jin's preference to be referred to as Hyung, which, I mean, fair enough. You know, if you grew up in that culture, then you're just gonna carry on doing it how you did it, no matter kind of how time works in your favour. Again, with Taemin, he is actually younger than Irene, but debuted 7 years before her. Irene is actually a very interesting case because she was born in 90. Yeah, she was born in 91. So she was already 23 years old when she debuted with Red Velvet. And we're going to obviously get on to a little bit more of Irene and like her age between some of the members. But yeah, no, she debuted so late into kind of the I guess like the usual, I hate that kind of phrasing, the usual debuting age, because we've seen like Boa, for example. Again, we're gonna get onto her. She debuted like 11 years before Irene would have in terms of age. It's a little bit weird. Like, it gives you the ickies and you don't entirely know what to do with that information. But I mean, I'm pleased for her that she's had a very good career, and obviously now as a soloist, I hope she continues to have success. Yeah, Jungkook and Bang Chan are actually the same age. Jungkook is a little bit, I think. Yeah, I think he is a little bit older than Chan. I'm having to search this up. Yeah, he is. So Chan was born on the 3rd of October 1997. Jungkook was born on the 1st of September 1997. This is testing my memory skills of like times and dates. Seung Chol from 17 and Jimin from BTS are the same age. Seung Chol was born, I don't remember the exact date, but in August of 95, so he's just turned 13. And Jimin was born on the 13th of October 1995. So yeah. Nancy from Momo. No, Nomo, if you're not from the UK, is a dairy-free chocolate brand that my sister loves, and she gets us to buy her. Obviously she's not at the moment because she's in Liverpool, so I just constantly remember that. Nancy from Momoland is actually younger than Julie from Kiss of Life. They debuted 6 years apart, I think. I think Momoland debuted in 2017. Maybe it was 2016. Moland. I so nearly put Mono. Oh, 2016. So the 10th of November 2016. So Daisy, she was two. Who's that? Nancy, oh my god, I can't do words. Nancy, 2000. Yeah. Yeah, because Julie is March of 2000. Changyo from Teen Top is still in his 20s while celebrating his 15th debut anniversary. Changjo is actually a hit there. I can't speak. What is wrong with me? I need to calm down. He has a TikTok, and I do follow it, and I've just been really enjoying it. It's really funny. So if you want some recommendations on uh K-pop TikToks, then follow Changjo. Names are really difficult for me today. Ian from Stray Kids is 7 months older than Kihyo from P1 Harmony. I sometimes think about like people that you find out are similar ages, and I kind of think about which one is more like like if they were to have to be the leader of something, which one I would choose, and I would honestly have to say Kihyo. But that's just because he's the leader of P1 Harmony, and obviously Iron's been the magnate of Stray Kids for so long. Sehun from EXO is only 1 year older than Johnny from NCT. And this one, I absolutely love this fact. I cackled when I found this out. So the Soviet Union was still around when Irene was born. Barely. I just want to clarify, barely. I think it must have been like within like a few weeks or something. When did the Soviet Union form? Months. On the 26th of December 1991, Irene was born in March of 1991. So, yeah, a few months. CO1 from Eunice would be 20 if her group had a 7-year contract. Yeah, I feel like I'm going through the multiple stages of grief at this moment in time. If you're learning about that, I'm like, yeah, that is a fact, isn't it? Moving on. Jisung from NCT Dream will be 26 during the 9th annual The Dream Tour, Dream Show, whatever it's called. And I was like, time is a thing, and when you start putting like numbers together, like rubbing your two brain cells together, you're just like, yeah, time moves on. Yeah, we're all aging at the end of the day. Like, honestly, it's been so strange, like, kind of coming to terms with time as like a thing, and like, my progression in life, and making decisions about what I want to do, like where do I see my like what where do I see myself going in the next few years, and like obviously having conversations with my person from Universal Credit. It's like I've kind of made decisions about potentially getting a job somewhere, or maybe not like a job, but like a volunteering type of thing in the next couple of months, and making decisions and stuff, and like that actually needing to start happening soon, it not being able to be put off. It's very, very strange. The age gap between Boa, who debuted in 2000, and Irene, who debuted in 2014, which is 4 years and 4 months, is less than between Irene and Joy, her maknae at the time when she debuted, which is 5 years and 6 months. Yeah, again, time. I love dates. I've mentioned it before, but I love figuring out like numbers and stuff. Yeah. IU is the Sunday name to Solar and Moonbyul despite being younger than them by 2 years and 5 months. I don't know why I wrote this down. Yeonjun is 2 years younger than Jungkook. Yeah. Okay. Taehyung and Timothy Chalamet are only 3 days apart in age. Well, I feel like Taehyung has become a lot more mature since he's been in the military, so he doesn't kind of feel like that K-pop, that funny little K-pop idol that's like still a kid, And the military matured him like fine wine in the summertime. Nice. That was weird. Irene from Red Velvet is older than Sohyun from Girls' Generation and all the members of FX except from Victoria. Again, it is just time. Irene was very lucky into debuting when she did. So I think if she didn't debut with Red Velvet, she might not have been able to at all. Or at least like debuted as a soloist and not been good. Like Red Velvet was literally her only chance. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just what it is. But you know, she was very lucky in being able to debut with SM at the time that she did. I do have some more. Just write it back of the notebook. I have a lot of them actually. I have one that I have a lot of I have EXO's solo music in there that I need to review. I have one that's gonna be for like Triple S. Oh, I have some fun and interesting. This is fun and interesting facts. Jungwoo from NCT 127 studied at an engineering high school. Taro was a fan of NCT and posted TikToks before getting into SM and NCT, but obviously moving to Rise. The shortest running K-pop group who made their debut went on for 5 days, called Solia, but apparently like they just faked debuted and then like it was actually all for archiving purposes and kind of celebrating their journey, so not really, but Jisung and Chandler from NCT Dream had actually not debuted, sorry, met before signing before joining SM and obviously NCT. And there have been only 6 idols who have debuted that came from the Saturday, like the famous Saturday auditions. And we don't actually know if Minsok from EXO has gotten his doctorate yet. There was like a picture back in 2018, but that was like 7 years ago. And I don't think there's been much information about that since. So he could very realistically be Dr. Kim Min Sok, which I would think he is very proud of if that is the case. And I love that for him. Johnny could have been an EXO because he was around the same age as the other members, but I guess SM was like, actually, like I assume Lee Soo Man was like, actually no, I have a plan for him, and he's just gonna have to wait a few more years, but he's gonna be good. Jungmo from Gravity had been learning to become a flight attendant before becoming a trainee. Taeyeon from Girls' Generation hated G so much she actually cried and didn't want to be in it. Sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but that is actually kind of funny. Jackson and Lucas used to live a minute away from each other back in Shanghai. Yeah, I think it was Shanghai, but did not meet until they were idols. Jungwon from ENHYPEN was an SM trainee for 3 years before going to Big Hit 16 months before Island. Chen from EXO entered SM at the highest trainee level and debuted within 11 months of joining the company. 17 went to a restaurant for Going 17, their variety show, and ordered 1 million won's worth of food, which was able to save the restaurant. TVXQ were almost going to be called Internal Organs, which, doesn't sound as impressive than Rising Kings or Gods from the East. TVXQ. I think it's Rising Gods from the East. Also, I actually kind of understand why some people said about how strange it was that they re-signed with the company, but I don't think it's that strange. They get to kind of work. They still work. They're still doing stuff, and they've been like touring consistently over like the 22 years they've been active. And realistically they could have just SM could have just put them in the basement when Changmin got married and had a kid. So like, no, how about we put those assumptions away and we just appreciate the Kings for who they are. Where am I with this? Hyunjin and Jongin from Stray Kids almost joined a cult, which again, I don't think anyone would be surprised about that. Seung Chul is the oldest in 17, but is the youngest in his family, whilst Chan is the youngest in 17, but eldest in his family. And Ji Hoon is in the middle of 17, and he's an only child. Jun, again from 17, is the reason why idols can't get cake anymore from their fans. And Seokmin has H-O blood, which is the rarest blood type. RHO likely refers to the blood types of the O blood group system and the RH blood group system. NHS Blood Donations, wonderful website. Woo. So the what is this? So only about the 7% of the world's population are O negative. However, the need of no negative blood is the highest because it's just used during emergencies. Well, isn't that interesting? Bet you didn't want to learn that today. So what is universal? So the universal donors are those with O negative blood type. Y O negative blood can be used in transfusion for any blood type. Okay, so Seokmin, if he was to, let's say, I'm not saying that he is going to, I'm just saying that if he was to get into a car accident and needed a blood transfusion, it would be very hard to get blood to him because, universal donors obviously have O negative blood. It's the type of blood that you can use to transfuse with other people's blood types, but obviously you can't use AB positive blood in an O negative person because it just wouldn't and yeah, unfortunately, if it were to happen, then he would have, I don't know how to say it. It would be very, very bad. It would be a very bad day for it, and it is it's an unfortunate thing that happens. Yeah. I do have more fun. Almost finished. So Ellie from EXID was Hyuna's rap mentor. Sungkwan went to. I actually just wrote Sungkwan went to Soo Young's cousin. Sungkwan went to school with Sungkwan's cousin, Soo Young's cousin, on Jeju Island. And a stranger was invited to B2B and A-Pink's group chat. The number had been Il-hoon's old one, and all the members left the chat, but Kwan told the stranger to be happy before obviously leaving. I think this is Kai from EXO. He ate nail polish because he thought it was lip gloss. That I don't see as to how that would be possible because nail polish, it typically has it has a much bigger glass part, and the applicator's kind of is different, and it smells. Rather than like in a lipstick tube, it's normally the complete same width, and is a lot longer, and it smells good. Most of them smell good. So, questions for that. Jackson auditioned for JYP because he thought it was Big Bang's company. Vix was kidnapped by the daughter of I love how I just put of Kazakhstan. Like the daughter of Kazakhstan. I think the daughter of the prince or the king of Kazakhstan, but I don't know anything about like Kazakhstan's. To be fair, anything about Kazakhstan. Before debut, JB and Mark used to argue all the time, and it was Yoon-K that had to translate for them. And Sakura crocheted the outfits for, I think it was the smart stages, but I put the easy comeback, but I think it was the smart stages. So, yeah, that's been some interesting things about K-pop, and you learned about blood types. Yeah. I actually want to learn some more about that because it sounds interesting. So there's a website, redcrossblood.org, an American website, and you can see how like genetically a blood type can be passed on. So both my parents have A blood type, so I could either have O or A. But if both your parents had O blood types, which I assume obviously is the thing with Seokmin, both his parents would have to be O for him to have O. But if one of them had like a B and the other one had a, their blood type would, like someone's blood type would either be A or B. Very interesting. Yeah, it's one of those strange old little dings that you don't really think about all too often. But yeah, I'm stalling. I don't know why I'm stalling. I want to go. But yeah, thank you as always for listening, and I'll talk to you guys again very, very soon. Bye.